Hallo und herzlich willkommen zur nächsten Folge Vampyr. Und wer brüllt denn hier auf der Straße denn rum?
Good evening, miss.
Oh my god, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reid. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Ekons. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte.
Oh, haben wir jetzt die Tochter von der Ashbury gefunden? Über ihre
Tell me
Adoption.
about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
Wer sind ihre wahren
Who
Eltern?
are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see? And one day, I'll have my death to face.
Wie sind Sie Lady Ashbury
How
begegnet?
did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Ekon, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
Sweet 16.
What do you think about this part of town?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Ja.
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reid?
Beträgt sie
Is there
irgendwas?
something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich.
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Eine Suffragette.
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time. Even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
Wie reagieren die Bürger?
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reid. And please, don't tell my mother.
Doktor, Emily wird vermisst. Was wissen Sie über mich?
What exactly has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously. And the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it was not your fault.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reid? Or you?
Noch nicht, aber vielleicht.
Perhaps it's wise for a mortal never to totally trust a vampire. Your mother herself told me that we Ekon are creatures of deception. Maybe it's because we seem so alive.
That may be true for a naive girl, but I have the best teacher when it comes to getting rid of an insistent immortal.
Your mother is not like any other vampire I've met.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reid.
Gut, dann haben wir doch bestimmt noch was Persönliches. Warum hat sie Lady Ashbury adoptiert?
Do you know why
Weil sie
Lady
ihre Eltern
Ashbury
gefressen
chose
hat?
you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so, where are they buried? How was it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Don't let any strangers come into your house tonight. Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Was ist das für ein cooles Gebiet irgendwie? Wahnsinn. Was haben wir denn hier so für eine Aufgabe? Emily wird vermisst. Wo denn? Ach, da unten. North Docks. Okay. Ashbury House. Freund, was klopfst du denn da rum?
Don't let any
Good evening, sir. May I have your attention?
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize your oldest friend?
Clarence.
Clarence!
Clarence Crossley. How are you? My God. So you survived the war too. So sorry I didn't recognize you at first.
I almost didn't recognize you either. War does that to men, I heard. In my case, it was true, for I witnessed the horror that lies underneath.
Oh, du bist krank, du hast Migräne. Und ich könnte dich...
Do you need medical assistance, Clarence?
It's a little late for visiting hours, don't you think?
Ich habe Medizin
What
von...
can I say? I haven't lost my old habits.
I hope we're talking about the same habits, old friend.
Krass. Wann bist du nach London zurückgekommen?
When did you escape the war and return to London?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of battle now.
Denke auch nicht darüber nach, was für eine neue Schlacht
What
führst
is
du.
this new battle?
I saw terrible things during the war. Horrors I thought I'd forget. They're here too. They're everywhere. Vampires.
Was? Vampire in London? Na. Denke auch nicht darüber nach.
I know what you mean. I haven't had much time to think about the war either since my return.
Of course. With the epidemic, I bet you've been busy as well. Forgive me, Johnny, I didn't want to sound selfish.
So, persönliche Fragen. Wie geht es deiner Frau?
How is your wife, Venus?
We've spent so much time away from
Venus.
each other. And so many things have happened.
Hast du Ärger zu Hause?
Is everything all right at home? Surely Venus was relieved to see you return from France in one piece.
Have you forgot what people are like in this part of town, Johnny? Venus fears for our family reputation. Now her husband has become the village idiot.
Venus Crossley. Aber du bist am Leben.
But you're alive. You returned in one piece and you have a family. How many soldiers can say the same?
Believe me, it's not quite that simple. Unlike you, I'm not the man I used to be.
Alles klar.
You
War
need
alles
some
hier.
rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Alles hier besprochen. Hier rein können wir nicht. Aber gut. Da haben wir den jetzt schon entdeckt in dem schönen neuen Gebietlein. Oh, doch ein paar. Gut, Venus Crossley haben wir noch nicht entdeckt. Ich glaube, das hier werden jetzt die ganzen Ascalon-Leute sein. Schauen wir es einfach mal. Geht's. Ab in den Ascalon Club. Erstmal noch kurze Checkrunde, ob hier noch irgendwas zum Looten ist. Nein. Und auf geht's. In den Ascalon Club. West End Ascalon Club. Aufmachen, Drogenfahndung.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid.
Und so kommt man überall
Welcome
rein.
to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reid. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs.
Ui. Schicker Laden. Aber wer bist du, mein Freund?
Welcome to the Ascalon Club.
Gut, einer, der nicht mit mir reden will.
There has been quite a battle here.
Ta.
I'm
Überall.
sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the
Welcome to
furniture.
the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reid.
Was haben die denn hier veranstaltet für Massaker? Diese Psychos. Na gut, Ascalon Club. Was haben wir hier? Guter Dolch. Da ist zu. Guter Dolch, das will ich mir direkt mal anschauen. Was haben wir denn da? Was ist denn das für eine Waffe? Gut, das wird sowas sein hier. Blutaufnahme. Ja. Der Dolch. Angriffsgeschwindigkeit 10. Blutaufnahme 10. Ein solides, aber kleines Messer, das vor allem benutzt wird, um es in den Widersacher zu stechen und den aufzuschlitzen. Ja. Oh nee, wir haben ja unseren Flock. Das will ich haben. Das gefällt mir. Oh. Lord Sheffield. Sieht aus wie die Viecher, die ich draußen schon gesehen habe. Lord Hutchinston. Ach du Scheiße. Lauter Vampire da. Weiß nicht, wie das enden wird, wenn ich da reingehe, aber Schlüssel für den Keller des Ascalon Clubs. Okay. Schlüssel für den Keller, das hört sich schon mal gut an. Wenn ich noch wüsste, wo der Keller dann ist. Alles aufgesammelt, Haufen Schillinge haben wir gefunden. Mal kurz schauen, ob das hier da unten der Keller ist. Das wird der Keller sein, ja. Da kann ich jetzt aber noch nicht hin, weil ich nicht weiß, was auf mich wartet. Erstmal zu unseren netten Freunden hier, die sowieso schon auf uns warten. Nette Runde hier. Hier geht's rein, oder?
Good evening.
Good evening. Lord Sheffield, good evening.
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reid. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him.
Here, here, here.
Hurrat!
Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reid. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reid.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
Ist eine gute Freundin. Sie ist mir von Nutzen gewesen. Oh, bad boy.
She has proved to be helpful on many occasions.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is immortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Warum jetzt? Warum plötzlich so freundlich? Warum ich?
Why do you suddenly need me?
The Ascalon Club only recruits the best, and you definitely fit the bill.
Oh, danke
Your
schön.
scientific and medical reputation alone would qualify you as a candidate.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End. Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reid, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon, who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
Diese Angelegenheit geht Sie nichts an. Sprechen Sie nicht über meine Familie? Nein.
No, I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reid. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Ich habe zuerst einige Fragen.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
Wie viel Geld kriegt man als Mitglied? Was ist Sinn und Zweck des Ascalon Club?
What is the
Clubs?
Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
Was bedeutet Ascalon?
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
William Marshall hat den Club gegründet.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
Was bringt die Mitgliedschaft mit sich?
What does it mean? to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the Crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Sind offiziell
Do you
anerkannt.
have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Ich soll gehorchen.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members, and I do appreciate obedience.
Ich habe einen von ihnen getötet.
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours, sent to cleanse the East End of all Skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
Sehr schön. Guter Verschleiß. Ich werde beitreten.
I agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country.
Interessiert
My
mich jetzt
fellow
Mitglied
members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reid, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall, speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation. Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reid. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
Das ist ja mehr eine Sekte als ein Club. Sprich mit Lord Redgrave.
I personally went patrolling last night.
Oh, ich dachte gerade, das ist mein Ziel.
And I spotted at least
Lord
two
Finney.
foreign Ekons. This
Oder kann
is
ich mit
an
keinem von denen reden?
outrage. We shall chase these intruders down.
Hier kann ich reden.
I was chased by a
Arthur
gigantic
Pembleton.
Falcon 2 nights ago. I thought it was Fergal coming back, but no.
Hier offen, okay.
Creature barely spoke English.
Wer sind Sie denn? Arthur.
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
Good evening.
How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece? Figuratively.
Ziemlich geil. Ah, du bist der Nicht-Vampir. Es ist ungewohnt, mir geht es gut, mir gefällt es nicht. Mir geht es
I
gut.
feel perfectly fine. Do I have cause for concern?
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by the way.
Aloysius. Na guck mal, ich kann man auch nicht snacken. Sie sind ein Mitglied des Clubs.
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
Erzählen Sie mir vom Club.
What can you tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member, and a dying one at that.
Sind Sie krank?
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reid.
Keine Angst vor
Are you
Vampiren?
not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Ist dieser Club nicht geheim?
Is not the nature of this club a secret shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reid, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
Sie haben um Mitgliedschaft.
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
Über Lord Redgrave.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Mr. Dawson?
Sie sind
Of Dawson and Dawson.
Dawson und
The
Dawson.
wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in. To cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
Über die Wache von Priven.
What do you know about the Guard of Prewin?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
Sie sind unsere
But they
Feinde.
are our enemies.
They are not mine, Dr. Reid.
Würden Sie ihnen helfen?
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
Die Lage im West.
What is the situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
Geld löst nicht jedes
Money
Problem.
cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall. A formidable, unscalable wall to isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
Es ist gefährlich.
By doing so, you would create two separate ghettos. What if the disease gets past the wall? The results would be disastrous.
Not if we eliminate all suspected cases of infection as soon as they appear. A necessary sacrifice.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now.
Dann sind nach dem Gespräch jetzt neue Leute hier hingekommen, oder was? Oder ist Pembleton der mich reingelassen hat? Okay, das wird der sein, der mich reingelassen hat. Gut, dann reden wir doch einfach mal mit Lord Redgrave.
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago, well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Sie kennen Edgar
Do
Swansea?
you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
Ich sag ihm alles. Alles. Die haben mich ausspioniert?
You were spying on me.
Not personally. I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
Wer war Fergal?
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Banshire was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No, he was a Volcod. All muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
Wir wissen, dass ich ihn getötet habe.
You do know I killed him.
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of course not. Your victory was quite impressive and courageous. You earned my respect.
Ja. Skulls stehen mit der Epidemie in Verbindung.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied skulls in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reid, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Skulls.
Skulls sind bösartig, einige Skulls sind friedlich, Skulls sind Opfer. Nee, einige sind friedlich.
I have met peaceful and wise skulls. To exterminate them means we are no better than vampire hunters.
Skulls are hideous, shameful creatures that give all Ekon a bad name.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reid. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
Neue Bandstufe. Er hat 6 und er hat... Was? Bandstufe 20? Alles klar. Besuche den Bürger auf die Infektion. Welcher ist das? Wo ist er? Infektionsbürger, hallo. Frage Anwohner nach möglichen Infektionsquellen im West End. Alles klar. Aber als allererstes schauen wir uns doch mal den Keller an. Aber dies und mehr in der nächsten Folge. Vampyr.